Welcome to the Drama Coach podcast. I'm Lisa, actor and coach, and I help young performers and the people that are supporting them build confidence, skill, and a real understanding of the industry. Welcome to the very first episode of the Drama Coach podcast. So I've been thinking about doing this for a while. You may know that I set up the YouTube channel in 2020 in response to needing to teach students online. And as this has progressed, I've taught teachers and parents and helped them with all things drama related along the way. And more recently, helping my young performers in screen acting as well. So this episode is called Would My Child Benefit from Acting Training and What to Look For? Because this is a question I get asked a lot, and it's not a simple yes or no, hence the reason to chat about it on a podcast. There is so much, isn't there, that anyone gets from training, and there's a place for training. And for children, there is a really special, important place for hobbies. And they are children. They should be enjoying themselves, in my opinion, hopefully yours as well. They should be filling their hearts with what brings them joy. So you don't want to be dragging them off to drama training or performing arts training if they're not enjoying it. Similarly, it could come from them. Perhaps they are begging you for drama lessons or musical theatre or dance or something else, and you're unsure sort of where to start or whether it would be right for them. So hopefully this chit chat will help you come to your own decisions for your child. Is it a hobby? Is it serious? Is it worth it? I would say as long as your child's going into the acting industry with your support, and it's overused at the moment, but with you helping them to be grounded and helping them, I'll do a whole nother episode on rejection and how you deal with that. But in terms of signing up for a hobby, what is the harm? Obviously, it will come with a financial cost and you running them around a lot. The idea that, I suppose if you're going to something more performing arts, is there probably will be a show or more shows, and, attendance will be important. There'll only be a certain amount, the child could skip for whatever reason. So I think as long as you and the child are dedicated to that, then, and aware of that, then that's absolutely fine. From the most basic level, of course, hobbies are good for confidence, communication, teamwork. And I keep saying hobbies rather than performing arts training because in my mind, anything that you learn is a part of your acting training. When you are represented and on spotlight, which again, I'll do a whole nother episode on getting representation. Your skills, any skill can be important. There was a job needing skateboarding the other day. So if they love martial arts, football, dance, whatever it is, I think it's all beneficial and it's all training and it's all place. I always tell my slightly older students this. It's a place to observe others as well. The first part of acting is observation. So if they are observing different people, different characteristics, different interactions, that's all learning and it's all important and it's all useful. And not to mention resilience, listening skills, being taught by somebody else who isn't their classroom teacher. All of that, in my opinion, is highly beneficial. It's life training. It's not just industry training. So as I said, anything is useful. Oh, singing lessons. I wish I'd had more singing lessons when I was younger. That's a great one for building confidence if it's right for your child. If they detest singing or it doesn't make them feel confident at all, then of course it's not going to be good for their confidence. You know your child. They know themselves. Follow what is joyful, what's enjoyable. And similarly, this is something I think I've realized maybe more as a mother than I did in myself. It's okay to give something up, right? We're not expected just because we liked something when we were 5 to, maybe we still do it. I sure do. But we're not expected to have to keep that up once a week forever for the rest of our lives. I personally really dislike the word quit. I find it has a lot of negative connotations. Maybe this is just me. I've never wanted to be a quitter. I'm definitely a sticker, and I keep going with whatever it is for as long as I can. But of course, if it's not serving you anymore, you need to let it go, right? So the word quit for me, I find it really hard if my daughter say, I want to quit this. And I'm like, I do understand. And recently we've she asked. And of course, she wanted to quit one of her dance disciplines, mainly because of a timetabling issue, really. It was just a little bit late and a little bit much with everything that she does. And we were okay with that. And hopefully the dance school were too, because perhaps that she was worried. She said, I've been doing it since I was little. And I said to her, well, that's okay. If the worst mistake you're making is wishing you still did it, you can pick it up again. It doesn't matter. Of course, there's cost and expense that comes into it. She was upset about, not upset, but concerned that we'd fairly recently bought her these really expensive tap shoes and that they weren't necessarily going to be used anymore. I said, but you don't know, you might pick it up. I wish I could fit them. They're gorgeous. You might pick it up again. Let's not get rid of those. Hold on to those and let's just do what makes you happier. And honestly, the last week or so, I've really noticed the difference. Perhaps it's the sunny weather as well, but I've really noticed the difference in her well-being and her happiness just from giving up or ceasing something that wasn't working for her at present. And I've come to the understanding that is okay, and to tell my children that is okay, and not just sort of push through for the sake of it. She also asked me more recently, is this not just a massive waste of your time? Because we are always sat in the car driving to dance and performing arts lessons. And I said, well, it really would be, yes, if you didn't enjoy it or weren't getting anything or weren't progressing or getting anything out of it. And I said, the moment you're not, let me know, because yes, it's a waste of time, money, and both our time. If they're enjoying it, if they're getting some, obviously every now and again we don't feel like it, right? We're under the weather or whatever. We just don't feel like going to our hobby that night. More often than not, I see this in myself, I see it in my children, you actually go along and you feel a whole lot better once you do that thing, or whether it's the dance studio and the music gets going or it's seeing other friends. More often than not, it actually makes you feel better when you drag yourself there. And if that's the case, then great. But if it becomes more often than not, that your child is feeling like they're dragged to the hobby, in my opinion, what is the point? Leave it, move on, try something else. So if you are looking for a performing arts class, what are you looking for? Because they are so varied, and they can be really varied even within one institution. You can have, I won't name names of places because that seems unfair on ones that I do or don't name. But if you've got a well-known singing, dancing, acting group and they are countrywide, you'll get a very different experience from one to another because there are different teachers, and your child will respond differently to different personalities, genders, whatever. There's an energy, isn't there, from a person that may or may not resonate well with your child. So I would say take them up on, especially if they do those free tasters, take them up on them. Let your child try them and see what works for them. There are many that have song, dance and acting all rolled into one. And actually for my youngest, we tried a few until we landed on the one that she truly loves. And they do a really incredibly professional show every year, and they do Trinity exams in the autumn, and it's all musical theatre based, which she loves, and it's really working. I would say, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, obviously when your child is involved in a show, the principals are going to expect, as in the people who run it, principals, not as in the principal characters, that's another thing. The owners, the people, the coaches, they are going to expect a certain level of dedication to the rehearsals, and there may be line learning or song lyric learning, etc. going on as well. So your child would need your support in that. But if they're keen and they love it, they will do those things because I remember my youngest getting super excited the first time she got a script and lines to highlight. She was all over it. She loved it. And there was a real buzz to that homework, for want of a better definition for that. So try them out if you can, because not every institution is going to be right. Not every coach or teacher is going to be right. Some people love being taught by me. Some people don't. That's totally okay. You know, we have our own people that we connect with and that we learn best from, and that's totally okay. Try, though, I've mentioned the performance, but to focus on the process as well as the performance. It's not all about a big showcase at the end of the year or a big musical. There is so much that can be learned during the process. All those things I've mentioned already, like connecting with others, the confidence, the building of skill. You know, there's so much going on there, which is absolutely great. I personally like a clear structure from a performing arts group, especially, again, the one she's with now is fantastic. They give us the timetable about a year in advance, and we can map out who is where, when, and you've got the show dates, and if they don't change. They are fantastic in terms of managing other children and other members of the family. Whereas others might be more flexible and things might have to change and shift. And if that works for you, then that is great. But for me, I really enjoy, just for being part of a busy family, I really enjoy the structure from our particular musical theatre group at the moment. What else was I going to say? Progress. It's not always obvious. It's not always a better exam grade, or actually, in actual fact, I would argue that sometimes exam grades or percentages can fall as children get older because it gets that much harder. Yeah, it's not always obvious. The confidence might grow before the skill. Or you might see a spark of skill and then it dips and then it comes back again. I can remember that, witnessing that with acro lessons, for example. They'll get something brilliant, they can do it, and then perhaps there's a dip in confidence for whatever reason, and that skill disappears for a short while and then comes back, which is wonderful, and it usually comes back even stronger. Or vice versa, you know, so confidence might come first, skill might come first, and there might be sort of dips or ebbs and flows in that. And I wouldn't worry about that at all. Again, as long as they're happy and enjoying their activity, what is there to lose, in my opinion? Sometimes quieter children progress slightly differently. It's more like an internal development rather than external. And again, you know your child and you know if they're happy and if they're developing. And I think sometimes parents can miss the subtle wins, the little moments of joy, or when they go skipping into that activity or skipping out of it, and just the smiles, the little things, or like a connection with a friend that they wouldn't have met at school. You can get a real sort of family feel to putting on a musical, and often they will find friendships with children. Maybe they're looking after the younger ones, or maybe they've got some older students that they look up to. I think that's always really beautiful to witness, and an important part of a hobby, especially like a musical theatre or an amateur dramatics group, or whatever it is that's blending some different ages of those children. Again, it might not work. Your child might prefer to be with their age range. So take that into consideration as you are choosing the hobby or the provider for you. The right environment is important as well. And this could be from the physical space. Perhaps you want particular facilities. Obviously, you want it to be safe for your child. But the environment could be the teachers, the students, the ethos of the place. Get a feel for it and see if it resonates with you and with your child. Sometimes it's hard, isn't it, to get your child to say, oh, when you ask them, what do you think of it? Oh, it's okay. It can be hard sometimes to get that out of them. Just use your judgment and find somewhere that feels right for you. In terms of actor training, there's no fixed timeline. If you've got a child actor, it's not like they should be achieving X, Y, and Z at certain milestones or ages. Not at all. We see that in the industry. For the adults, there is no clear path or timeline. So let that be one less worry for you. Just make sure, as I've said 100 times, I think already on this podcast, if they're enjoying something, fantastic. Just get rid of the pressure of they should be at this level at this time, in my opinion. And the path is different, isn't it, for every child as well. They may, if you let them, pick up different things at different times. So they might be at a different grade or a different level. And personally, I think that's totally fine. And when you've got that skill, it's not just the hard skill that you're learning, it's all of the other things, not to mention that confidence building. So I hope that's given you some food for thought on training for your child. Hopefully made you think a little bit more in a relaxed way that actually everything is training for a young actor, from popping out with you to the shops and observing people as they help you out to going for full-on singing, dancing, acting training. Everything is useful. And as a mum, as a coach, as a person in general, I just want children to be happy. And I'm sure you want that same thing for your child. So take the pressure off yourself, take it off of them, pick the things they love and go with it. And if they don't love it anymore, it's also okay to change. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If this episode resonated, do share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to follow for more. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and other socials at The Drama Coach, and on YouTube for longer videos and training. See you in the next episode.